Good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure and privilege that I introduce back to Tacoma Buddhist Temple, Reverend Dr. Takashi Miyaji. Reverend Dr. Takashi Miyaji was a minister here at the Tacoma Buddhist Temple from December of 2017 to July 31st of 2020. As of August 1st, 2020, Reverend Miyaji is currently the minister of the Southern Alameda Buddhist Church, also known as SACBC. In addition, he teaches at the Institute of Buddhist Studies located in Berkeley, California. He graduated from the University of California at Berkeley with a bachelor's degree in philosophy and Japanese language and literature, Institute of Buddhist Studies at Berkeley, California with a master's in Buddhist Studies, at Ryukoku University in Kyoto, Japan with a master's degree in Shin Buddhist Studies, and completed his doctoral coursework at Ryukoku University. He specializes in the areas of Japanese Buddhism and religion, translation of Buddhist scripture, and Jodo Shinshu doctrine and ethics. Reverend Miyaji received his Tokudo and Kyoshi qualifications at the Honpa Honganji School located in Kyoto. He also obtained his academic ranking of Hokkyo, recognized within the Honganji. He has most recently completed his doctoral dissertation entitled Shin Buddhist Ethics through Ryukoku University. And I know that all of you here are very excited to listen to Reverend Dr. Takashi Miyaji and to welcome him back. It is with great pleasure I once again introduce our guest speaker for today, Reverend Dr. Takashi Miyaji. And can you all please join me in giving him a warm, and his family, welcome back to Tacoma Buddhist Temple.
Here it's very nice to see the temple, the Hondo here. It's very nice, and it's lovely to see all your lovely faces. So thank you very much. I had the privilege of being able to do the seminar yesterday. I was very nervous, and then now we're here again. I feel nervous again, but it's nice to see all your lovely faces and some new faces too. So I'm looking forward to meeting many of you today. And so this thing's gonna warm up a little bit here. Yeah, someone ready right now? It's in Amsterdam. Last year, I took a trip out to Europe. My first time, and I took my family out over there, and we made a family trip out of it. So I thought maybe I'd kind of show some pictures of what I did out there, and I promised I'm not going to make this like, one of those family photo things. I'm going to do it very quick. But then I promise I'm going somewhere with this too. The trip was out in Europe, and there was a Shin Buddhist conference out there, and it was out in Dusseldorf, Germany, and there's a congregation that's in Dusseldorf, Germany, right? And it's very nice to see that there are other Jodo Shinshu Buddhists. Did you also know? Did you also know that there are Jodo Shinshu Buddhists in Brazil? There's also Jodo Shinshu Buddhists in Canada, right? Oh, I guess that's not too big news out here. There's a lot of people there. In California, people are like, what, Canadians are Jodo Shinshu Buddhists? And so, that's true too. And then where else? And here in Europe too. But just to kind of show you a little bit of what we saw out there. Here's Amsterdam. Hopefully my mouse works here. This is some pictures of Amsterdam. Of course, I have to show you what the Heineken brewery looks like. That's that. And that was a very short trip. But we went to Paris, and then this is my son here. And we went to the catacombs here. So I don't know if you know what the catacombs are, but underground, there's a lot of buried bodies that have now become, skeletons. And I think it was like somewhere in the 15th century, someone came along and said, we should probably kind of organize these a little bit. And so they put them into nice piles. And so, and then this is long corridor. It's long. I don't know if you've ever been there. How many of you have been there before? Oh, okay. It's this long, yeah, it's a long corridor. And so Keisai, you can see on the left picture, he's very scared. He doesn't want to go. A very worried look here. And then on the right, this is the end. He finishes, he's kind of happy now that it's over. But it's a very interesting place if you ever get a chance to visit there. This is the Eiffel Tower and then the Louvre Museum. And then this is the Mona Lisa, which I would like to talk about today. And I'm going to kind of come back to this picture, but let me just slide on over here. Notre Dame, and then Saint-Chapelle. This is like literally one block over, but it's got these glass panes like this. You know, it's like this that are just beautiful looking, very beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go, I definitely recommend it. I mean, look at the intricacy of this. I mean, it's just amazing. It's beautiful, you know. And so as you know, when you go to Western cathedrals and these kinds of things, it's like how many hundreds of feet up, and it's very, very takai, right? Very high up, right? And I think it's supposed to kind of have this imagery of being closer to God and these things. But in a temple, just to kind of just throw in a side bit here, the temple is very flat, right? It's very flat, and it's very wide, if anything. Very wide. And so one of the ministers that I learned from said that, you know, that's done intentionally to kind of try to get as many people in the hondo as much as possible. So it's this idea of the buppo so, the sangha, is the extremely important aspect. And so the hondo is made kind of sideways long. And on it goes. Okay, so now it's starting to become family photos. So sorry about that. Let me just try to scroll down and see if there's pictures of. So we also went to Germany, and then they had we took a picture at the Berlin Wall here. This is Checkpoint Charlie, where the East and West Germany kind of split, and then on it goes. But Brandenburg Gate, very beautiful. Reichstag Memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe. And then this is a kind of an interesting picture. Does anybody recognize what this is by any chance? Okay, this is where the Führer bunker was, where Hitler's last kind of moments was in the bunker. It's now a parking lot. And, and then there's a small sign that says, "Here is where Hitler killed himself." And I thought about it, and I was like, oh, yeah, it does make sense that you wouldn't really advertise this, right, as a country, that this is where he died, right? And so it's very kind of like, hey, this is where he died, and by the way, did you check out these other hot dog stands? And so, yeah, so they don't really advertise this too much, but that was there. And then this was kind of interesting too, the German Resistance Memorial. I don't know if you've ever seen that recent movie with Tom Cruise, Valkyrie, where they kind of, it was one of the plots to overthrow Hitler, but it failed in the end. But this is where they were kind of rounded up and executed. But anyway, this is the memorial now that's there. And then this is Cologne Cathedral, or as they pronounce it, Cologne Cathedral apparently. But this is also amazingly just tall and beautiful. Oh, sorry, I didn't have any pictures. Oh, that's a picture of beer. There was a lot of beer drinking in Germany. But I'd like to go back to this picture of the Mona Lisa. So this is what I wanted to draw your attention to here. There's all these pictures here, in case I'm sleeping. Okay, here you go. Okay, so this picture was at the Louvre and is very just striking, and it was made in 1503 by, does anybody know? Hi, oh, right there. Oh, very good, nice. Okay, Leonardo da Vinci, and so he was considered a genius, right? His thirst for knowledge never ended, and so he was a painter, philosopher, a scientist, and much more, right? And there's many details to this painting, but I just kind of wanted, I looked it up, and by looking up, I went on YouTube and I saw documentary, or explanations on why Mona Lisa was so great, because I didn't really understand it. When you go there in person, the size of it is literally like this big, and it's like, Okay, and you're just looking at it from like 10, 15 feet away, right? It's like, oh, that's great. Everybody's taking their pictures. So I kind of wanted to find out a little bit more about the significance of Mona Lisa. And as it turns out, this is an amazing picture. And this is a portrait, and as you can see, if you look at this, there's kind of no real strong lines, right? And one of the things I want to draw your attention to is that the background and where she is, kind of it's very blurred, the lines. You can't really tell where the background is and where the front part of it is. And so that the blending of those lines kind of is his way of kind of showing that she is a part of this nature, of this entire world that is being depicted. So the nature scene is also not an actual location. He kind of imagined this place. And the other thing about this is that we can't tell where the horizon is, right? If you look at it, it's like, if you look on the right of her shoulder, the horizon it seems like it's higher up. But if you look at the left side, from the left side, the horizon seems lower, right? Or it's slanted. And so what I learned about this is that it's an optical illusion. So when we look down at her shoulders, they seem to be slanted, right? As if she's moving toward us. However, in reality, her shoulders are level and they aren't slanted at all. But our brain gets confused and assumes that her shoulders are slanted. But the Mona Lisa, this is a portrait, right? She's sitting still. But in fact, this is but she's not really sitting, right? It seems like she's kind of moving. And that this is she's moving kind of towards us, kind of is another way of looking at this. The other thing I wanted to point out is her face. So Da Vinci kind of studied the facial muscles very much, a lot. He actually, from what I saw, he studied like cadavers and things about the facial structure. And so he was very intricate with the facial muscles. And so when you look at her eyes or her face in general, she's kind of smiling. But when you look at the smile itself, the smile kind of fades away. It calms down a little bit, right? And so it's like she's just having a smirking face. And then in other instances, that smirk even goes away, right? So you can't really tell if she's like smiling in certain instances or she's not smiling. Is it a straight face? And it just kind of changes, right? And our brain gets confused again and gets excited, you know. And we can't help but to keep looking at her face because it's like, is she smiling or is she just, looking at us with a straight face? What's going on here, right? And so, wherever you're standing in the room, she's also kind of looking at you too as well. And so that's another key feature of this, which I think is a real big masterpiece. So from these points, I wanted to talk about the Buddhist perspective of the Mona Lisa. One is that this entire landscape, that she's a part of the entire landscape. And so we have a word for that in Buddhism. It's called praticca samuppada, or engi in Japanese. All things are interconnected, right? Are interconnected. We are a part of this one reality of truth. And so right now in our everyday lives, it's very easy to fall into this trap of me. I am the center of the universe. Everything revolves around me. I judge everything as good or bad, left or right, up and down, worthy or unworthy, based on my standards of me, right? But when we see this true reality, we are actually a part of this one reality, okay? And that's what is really significant, I think we can get from this, the Mona Lisa. From the second point about her shoulders kind of being level, but they don't look level, and that she looks like she's moving, that's Amida Buddha, right? That's Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha here is depicted as a statue, not moving, right? Namo Amida Butsu, depicted when you see the 6-character name, it's not moving, right? It's stagnant, it's static, or staying still. But actually, what that's trying to show is this reality that is coming forth towards us, right? Towards us. When you come up here, if you ever get a chance, the little kids did today, but if you look at the profile of the Buddha, the Buddha is standing forward, okay? And then also, in our tradition, Jodo Shinshu, the central object of reverence is always a standing Amida Buddha, not a sitting Amida Buddha, a standing Amida Buddha. There is a very intentional reason why that's the case, because it's to depict that the truth, the world of truth, is coming towards you and trying to embrace you, right? We don't go to truth. Truth comes to us. Truth is right here, right with us, right now. When I say Namo Amida Butsu, truth is with me right now. And that's the second point that I wanted to point out. And then the third point about her smiling too, Amida Buddha in the Pure Land is not just some far off place, right? The effects of it, the teaching of it is working on us right now, right? And so when we look at the Mona Lisa, we have a relationship with her now. When we're looking at her, no matter where we stand, she's looking at us. And the more we look, is she smiling? Is she not smiling? Is she moving towards us or not moving towards us? Why is the background like that? We're having a dialogue with this painting, right? We're having now a relationship with this painting. So what I could also want to point out when we have this relationship is that it's the same thing with the portraits in the Onaiji, right? Shinran Shonin, Nenya Shonin. Shinran Shonin lived in 12th century Japan. Nenya Shonin, 15th century Japan. Shotoku Taishi, 7th century, don't quote me on that, 7th century, about, and then 6th, and then the Seven Masters spans back all the way from Nagarjuna. This is 1st century Common Era or so, right? So there's hundreds of years of people who have long since physically are gone, but they are here right now with us. When we chant Shoshinge, Shinran Shonin is chanting with us right now. And these portraits, the reason why I say that is because these are not just some static entities, right? They are now working from the world of truth, working towards us, grasping us, calling out to us, right? And when we come to Sunday services, that's what we are engaging in and affirming with, right? So we are chanting with Shinran Shonin when we do this chant. And so this, I'm not saying that Da Vinci was a Buddhist or anything, but there is a Buddhist interpretation that we can get from this amazing painting, the Mona Lisa. Amida Buddha is a statue, but it is the Dharma that is moving towards us. And this is something that we can learn from this Mona Lisa. And it is a gift to us in the present, this Mona Lisa painting. This painting shows us how to have a conversation with the past and how to have a relationship with those who came before us, and to remember how we can see ourselves embraced within this truth of timelessness. Okay? So with that, I'd like to end today's Dharma message, and I would like to invite you to join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo Amida Butsu.